Well, what is hydroxychloroquine? That's question one. Question two, am I pronouncing it correctly? Well, I got the man with the answers right here. That drug's been highly praised by the president, and there's been a lot of speculation about how the drug can treat COVID-19. I'm joined now by Dr. Timothy Quinn. He's sure to correct my pronunciation and then also give us a bit of insight about, let me look at it again, hydroxychloroquine. Is that it?
Right. You're saying it correctly. Hydroxychloroquine and also chloroquine. These are medications in the same class, and they're routinely used to treat and prevent malaria and also certain autoimmune disorders to include lupus. Now, the deal is, it's been noted that the president has made the announcement that he is using this medication, and that's really not beneficial at this time. I'm going to read directly from the FDA.gov website, and it specifically states the FDA cautions against use of hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine for COVID-19 outside of the hospital setting or a clinical trial due to risk of heart problems. And basically what this is saying is the FDA has recognized that hydroxychloroquine has had multiple trials and it has not shown any benefit significant enough to be considered for use for therapeutic medical treatment. And it's also noted that this medication does have the potential to cause side effects. That's why it's so important that we maintain a high level of responsibility in leadership positions, because we don't want to mislead the public and also put the public at risk.
So this is not a drug that someone should be taking who's not showing any symptoms for sure, though, huh?
Definitely not. At this time, as I said before, there have been clinical trials, and the clinical trials have released the basic findings that the medication showed no significant benefits or not enough benefits to be considered for prophylactic or treatment of COVID-19 at this time. Now, do note that there are clinical trials still going on, but as to date, none of the trials have shown a significant enough benefit. And also, as I stated earlier, this medication does have the potential for side effects. Most disturbing are possible cardiac side effects, which include QT prolongation or ventricular tachycardia, which are abnormal ways the heart can beat. But what can happen is if an individual develops these side effects, that same individual could lose their life.
No, I see. Okay, so this is not the kind of drug that if somebody thinks that it might even help them, don't expect their physician to prescribe it just because they've heard about it on TV.
Well, here's the deal. The medication has been FDA approved for treatment for malaria and some other autoimmune disorders to include lupus. And if a physician chooses to prescribe the medicine, the physician can do it for what's called off-label. But we physicians, we rely on fact-based evidence. And what we do is we look at the clinical trials, we look at the recommendations by reputable sources such as the FDA and the CDC. And as to date, we're not being advised to prescribe this medication for COVID-19 because the research is not showing the evidence that the benefit outweighs the risk. So at this time, we're following the guidelines and we're advising people not to take this medicine for COVID-19 at this time for safety.
Thank you very much, Dr. Timothy Quinn. We'll have more, by the way, on the White House's response to the drug coming up at 4:30. Thank you, Dr. Quinn. Talk to you later on.